On the sea day, dude, I walk to the back of the ship and I look into the abyss. And I just tell Olivia, I'm like, I just want to go float out there. I just want to float in the abyss. Dude.
Why? What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like, and so does Olivia. Just the
both
open.
Just float
if
away?
you've ever looked into an open ocean, and I'm talking like just the deep, richest blue you've ever seen.
So what makes you want to float
Caribbean
out there?
Ocean. Just to feel tiny. Yeah. Just to feel like, dang. Like I'm floating.
Yeah. So you get to the open ocean. You're laying there, all by your lonesome. You're a dot on the earth. What happens next,
dude? Just
what are you feeling?
I feel like that's Zen.
But what would that?
I feel like it's epic.
Escaping to what? What are you escaping to?
I'm not escaping to anything.
Yeah, you are.
I just feel like it's epic. Just to feel that. To feel the rawness of like God created this piece of ocean, and it's one ocean on this planet.
Okay.
And you're a little speck in it, and it's not even the biggest ocean, yet it feels ginormous. And you just feel as if you just feel like a tiny little ant.
How long would your ideal time to float there and feel that moment of dang?
3 minutes is fine.
Dude, you're freaking weird. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard in my life. I tried to understand and like pull something out of that. I can't even relate. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard.
It's not, dude.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. We're excited to have you here. Before we jump into the episode, we wanted to thank our sponsor, which is Pit Boss. We're excited to announce that Pit Boss is the official sponsor of the 480 Show. We will talk more about them later in the episode, but for now, make sure to check out pitboss-grills.com to learn more. Again, that is pitboss-grills.com to learn more. All right. How's your week?
Well, it's only Tuesday.
Yeah, last week.
It was Easter's.
There since Easter's. I feel like our Easter dinner was really good.
It's really good.
But it was a little, not anticlimactic, but like we had a really good pre-Easter dinner the week before.
My legs already falling asleep.
The week before. And then we had fajitas, which is a fan fave in our home.
Marinated fajitas.
Yeah. But, I mean, I just feel like it was a little bit like there was just less people there to enjoy it. It felt like Easter was 2 weeks ago, and this last week was not Easter.
Yeah, I mean,
because of the number of people that were there.
Well, we had
those fajitas, though.
Yeah, we had Savannah and Jordan at Supercross.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They weren't there on Easter. Never mind.
I think they were just with Jordan's fam.
Yeah.
And Sadie was with Bryant's fam.
Yeah.
So it was just us.
Yeah.
And Kobe. Forget Kobe. Forget about Kobe. Sorry, Kobe.
Kobe and his forehead. Yeah.
That's so rude.
Well,
if you're gonna make it a comment about his appearance, make it about his hair. I mean, it's very fan-like.
Well, he had to
it's
get
like
up,
he's caught in a dust storm.
He had to get up in church to say the prayer.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It's just straight farmer's
Although
tan.
I will say, oh yeah, he did. He had a freaking ugly.
That's what I was talking about. It's farmer's tan on his forehead.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke about like the size of it. I'm like, I don't think he has a big forehead.
He's got a good shaped head.
All right. Yeah, that was pretty funny though. I didn't know Kobe seemed pretty put together up there. Sometimes I think of Kobe and I'm like, he's still so little, but he's not. You know.
I'll tell you one thing that wasn't put together.
His hair. What? Oh. Yeah, his hair looks like he was caught in like a dust storm and just froze him in time.
Which I don't get, because sometimes he
does it.
Cuts it and it looks good.
That. Well, yeah, because it's
just when he is long.
Yeah, it's too long.
Sometimes. But apparently you have to grow it long to make it healthy.
To what?
To make it healthy. Apparently. You gotta let it grow and then cut off the
I wouldn't know anything about hair growth. I don't know about you. I don't feel like we were allowed to have hair longer than half an inch growing up.
Well, you're losing hair.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah,
I
you
have
do.
one receding part right here. I have gray hairs.
My hair grows too long, too fast, so I've just been shaving it.
Yeah.
Looking like a inmate.
Looking like an inmate straight out of prison.
But we're hats, so it's
I was
okay.
going to say, you literally would only know on a Sunday. We have more information coming on this later, but I had a good week because I got myself, where's my camera? I got myself a new grill.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah.
That was freaking awesome. Got myself the Navigator, the 1150.
Pit Boss Navigator 1150, which is 1,150 square inches of cooking space.
1,150 square inches of freaking happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good week. Let's go ahead and jump into some questions before we start babbling too long. Would you consider yourselves outgoing or reserved?
Oh, baby. Very outgoing. Won't shut up around the people I know.
Yeah.
Around the people I don't know. I'm pretty reserved.
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
At first glance, I feel like most people would probably be like that.
And there's a term for that.
Is there?
Well, you know the terms like you're either
Introverted or extroverted?
Yeah. So I don't know what that falls into, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I mean,
Probably not an introvert. Introverts are people that like want to stay at home, I think, right?
yeah, I'm very much an introvert in that way.
To stay at home.
Yeah, so like an introvert would be classified as somebody that loses energy being around big groups of people.
Yeah.
An extrovert would be like loses energy by staying home, gains energy by being around other people.
Then me and my wife are completely different people. Because I think she's an introvert. She does not like big groups.
Same.
To a certain extent.
It depends on the group.
Yeah, I feel like she can deal with but she can go to like a baseball game. She could go to.
Yeah, that's different though. That's just a crowd. I feel like it's like a social thing. So it's like a party, right? Where you're expected to communicate or like engage socially with other people.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't hate that. But
I do.
I think if it's like with people you don't know, then yeah. If it's like a big part of people you don't know, like it doesn't really bug me, but I'm like, okay, that's kind of boring. But like, I feel like some people are like, yeah, get me out of here.
Get me the freak out of there, dude.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I don't want anything to do. If I was forced to go to a party, you give me about 20 minutes before my energy levels are like literally through the floor. Get me home, dude.
That's not me, dude.
No, not me. Family is different. Family, for some reason, I feel a little bit more extroverted in that way. I love spending time around family, and I feel like I'm the same way. Can't really get me to shut up, but not around other people. Which is funny because I was not like that a couple years ago. I feel like me and Ash were completely opposite, and in the 6 years that we've been together, we've just been slowly rotating. She's much more outgoing in that way. Like when we go to church, she'll talk with people in the hall, and my goal is to get out of there within like 30 seconds. Like, amen, let's go. Catch me in the car. Speaking of church, do you pray?
Oh boy, this isn't cool.
Oh, dude, it wasn't meant to judge you.
It was very judgy.
No, I think it's just people want to know. I think that's in another sense, like, are you slightly religious? I feel like would probably be the same question.
I mean, yeah. Do I pray every day? No. And usually if I am praying, it's because my baby's sick. Like, please don't put me back in that box.
Yeah.
Meaning hospital. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Pray in the bad times, not as much in the good.
which is terrible.
Terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I feel like most people do that. I mean,
Yeah, terrible.
there is something to be said for praying during the good times, but I don't know. I feel like I pray a lot, but there are plenty of days where I don't pray.
Yeah,
I should, but okay. If you both had $10,000 to spend on whatever you wanted, ... what would you buy? $10,000 at your disposal.
Yeah. Dang.
Are you seriously contemplating something right now? It's taking you this long? There's not something you've wanted for $10,000?
I mean,
Oh, this is shocking.
Dude, there's so many.
So many.
We're not talking like investment wise, right? Like, we're just talking like just an object.
This is just someone gave you $10,000 and said, if you invest this, I'll burn it. So go out and recklessly spend it. I wouldn't even actually say recklessly spend it. Just you have to spend it. Maybe you have a day to spend it.
Yeah.
What do you spend it on? It's like when Mr. Beast gives people $1 million and says you have to spend it within 24 hours.
A down payment on a nice new car for my wife.
A down payment, homie. $10,000 down payment? What kind of car are you getting?
Give me a break, dude.
Actually, I guess that's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry, dude. I bought one car in my life, and yeah.
It was more than 10 grand.
Yeah, I mean, the first car, mom and dad got me my first car, and it was $10,000 total, and it was more of a car than I ever thought I'd have.
Different times. But, I mean, it had 60,000 miles on it. Yeah.
Still drive it. It's in my garage. She's a beaut. Just hit like 175,000.
Probably, I think my wife likes the Ford Broncos, the new Ford Broncos. So, yeah.
Savannah's been wanting the Ford Bronco. She talks about that all the time.
She likes that. She likes some other cars, but yeah, I would do that.
Well, you're a better man than I. I was gonna say I'd drop about $4,500 on a Suron. I would drop the next $500 on a little electric bike that I've had my eye on for Carter because he loves the Suron and he would love a little electric bike.
Yeah.
I would drop a couple $100 on bikes and a bike trailer for like pedal bikes for me and Ash, and then that the boys could sit in, which those can actually get pretty pricey. So probably after those bikes and those trailers, you're probably looking at like $1,000. So at that point, we're looking at like 55, like 6,000. I'd put the rest of it on a cruise. Boom, just like that.
There you go, just like that.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of a cruise and vacations in general, that's going to bring us to our topic today.
Yeah, buddy.
We are debating
travel.
Travel. Top 3 vacations. Ranking number 3 being good vacation that you've been on. Obviously, you've been on a lot of vacations, but 3 being the worst.
Yeah. And
number 1 being the best.
Yeah.
So start with number 3. We'll go a little back and forth order.
Okay. Number 3, all-inclusive resort.
Boo. I knew you were going to go there.
I mean,
I did.
Look,
this is something that I knew.
Yeah, I mean, quick
Never
recap. I feel like it can be a great vacation.
You almost let me get another soundbite out of that. 3 weeks in a row. Quick recap. Duh.
I don't know, dude.
Why do you keep saying it?
I don't know.
Like, why do you keep saying quick recap and then you you literally just go blank?
Quick recap. Okay.
I'm literally dead, dude. Oh, frick.
I mean, it's a great vacation. Obviously, you pay one price, and usually it's decently hefty. But all your drinks, all your food, you're not even worrying about it. You're just getting to the resort. Depending on where you're going, obviously it makes a huge factor.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, obviously there's pools. If you're going with a family, there's a bunch of stuff to do. You can go on all-inclusives that are also golf resorts, which usually includes free golf. You just pay for it. And
you're a golfer.
But I'm not. But, I mean, you could.
Sure.
Obviously, if it's most all-inclusive resorts, I feel like are like beach resorts. I mean, you can get like ski resorts and stuff, but
can you actually? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
a ski resort.
Like you can do like all-inclusive, like
where?
I don't know, up in like the Andes.
Andes?
I don't know, dude. The Rockies, the Colorado.
Hey, you're the one that brought it up. I'm just asking.
The Utah. I don't know.
So like Park City, I could go to Park City and find it.
I'm sure you can find like an all-inclusive.
Okay,
yeah.
So you don't know.
I have no clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So typically you're referring to your
maybe
beach
Wyoming.
Vacation.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Okay. So
Wyoming residents reach out to us.
Yeah,
By the way, really quick, not to interrupt you, you know that we have 7 listeners from Atlanta? And 6 from New York.
Well,
Sup?
Yeah, right.
That's pretty random. Do you have friends from there? Because I don't have friends from there.
Dude, Atlanta's pretty happy right now. They just beat the Miami Heat in the first round of the playoffs. Probably some happy listeners.
Anyway, so Cabo. I mean, that's where you've been.
Yeah, so been in all-inclusive in Cabo. To be honest, the beach is beautiful, but you can't swim in the water, so that sucks. So it's mostly about the pools, the resort, the food. They have excursions, obviously, in Cabo. My bucket list is probably all-inclusives in, like, the Maldives or Cancun, definitely. Anywhere throughout the Caribbean, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's 3 for me. I feel like if it's you and your wife, it's a good time.
Yeah.
But it kind of gets repetitive. So unless you have a lot of excursions planned and you're at a resort where you can get off the resort and do a lot of excursions,
Yeah.
then it's, unless you're really there and you're just the relaxing type people, like you can just sit around and lounge all day long on the beach and the pool and like that's your vibe, then sure.
Yeah.
But there's only so much of that I can do. So
what do you do there then?
that.
So you don't actually enjoy it?
I mean, half of it's the food. Most of the time the food's pretty
food
fantastic.
sounds
Different restaurants. And it's just the overall vibe. But like, yeah, I mean, usually most resorts have excursion desks at the resort and you can do stuff. So that's what we would do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the only time I've been to a resort was our honeymoon and my wife was pregnant and she was pretty sick. So
Yeah.
didn't do much.
Yeah.
Not her fault, but
No, yeah.
yeah.
I've never been. I feel like the thing to me is with resorts is that I'm the type of person where it's like if I'm on vacation, like I have a hard time like turning it off. You know what I mean? Like my mind, right? Now, if I'm turning it off, I'm really good at turning it off. It just takes a little bit for me to get there, you know?
Right.
So like for me, like at a resort, right? Like I feel like you just go there and unless there's things for you to do, I just feel like I would just be so bored.
I mean, there's plenty to do, but I feel like you gotta plan excursions. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, like unless some people absolutely love resorts, but a lot of people, I mean, resorts are also about a bunch of drinking.
Yeah.
It's obviously all included, alcohol, everything. So a lot of people just party hard.
I feel like it might be like paralysis by overanalysis of what you could do, honestly. So like, for example, if you get on a boat to go on a cruise,
Yeah.
there are days that you're ported and there's days that you're cruising.
Yeah.
The days that you're cruising, you have a very limited amount of things you can do,
I hate it.
which is like perfect for me because it kills every option for me, right? If I'm ported and we're sitting around, I'm crawling into my skin because I'm thinking we could be doing stuff right now, but we're not, right?
Yeah.
If we're on a boat, I literally cannot do something.
Yeah.
So that it's not even an option. So I'm like forced to just chill for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's good for me. If I'm at a resort, I feel like there's so many options that if I didn't have stuff planned all the time, then sitting around feels like I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And that's
some
the
people
thing that's
love
hard
it.
for me.
Some people love it.
Yeah. So, for me, number 3 for me, honestly, I don't do like a whole lot of different vacationing. I feel like we do the same types of vacations every year.
Yeah.
But one of the 3, or the third one for me, number 3 for me would be our family's vacation that we go on every single year, which is a trip to California. In the past has been camping on the beach, but since kids came into the picture, that is no longer an option.
I mean, we did it, but it makes it a lot difficult.
We did it. I
haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and it was not fun. But since that time, we did 1 year at the beach house, or it was a condo, this one, which was just freaking awesome. But besides the point, whether we're camping or whether we're in a condo, that's less of it for me.
Yeah.
The part that I love is going and spending all of our time on the beach, because that for me is like super fun being around family.
Yeah.
That feels productive to me because I actually love being around family.
Yep.
So like just kind of like hanging around, playing cornhole, the spike ball, freaking going and swimming in the ocean like little kids again. Freaking can't beat it. And now that I have kids, Carter loves the water.
Yeah.
He loves building sandcastles.
Yep.
I think that's my
Number 10.
third.
Cool.
That's my number 3. Number 2.
Number two. I'm gonna have to say cruise.
Really? At number 2, huh?
Yeah, number 2.
Man, I'm interested to see your number 1.
My thought process was different on that, but you would have thought it would have been number 1. But this is now the 3rd cruise I've been on.
Sure.
Not that I'm turned off by cruising, because it's a very good time.
Sure.
But this last time, honestly, it was all great, except for the weather was not that great. It wasn't like stormy, but the seas were so rough. And granted, we're on the largest ship at sea.
Sure.
Width-wise, length-wise.
So you're saying there shouldn't have been rocking?
There really shouldn't be. I mean, we're on a float.
Didn't you go during the wrong season, though?
No.
Or just at the tail end of?
No. I mean, we went in March. Like, the best time of the year to cruise is December through March.
Sure.
Or really December through April.
More like November through...
No, November 30th is the end of hurricane season. So it's really... Honestly, it's really that weekend on after Thanksgiving until like maybe April technically is like the best time of the year to cruise. So I was thinking, early March, it would have been good. But the seas, man, we were rocking everywhere. I mean, we just couldn't even walk down the hall straight. So that sucked. So the entire time your equilibrium was way off. Sucked.
That's so weird. I can't even imagine that happening, because when we went, both cruises I've been on, that was not... I could barely even tell we were on a boat.
Exactly.
It felt like I was on a hotel.
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
Firmly planted on the ground.
Yeah, it was weird. And it kind of sucked. But it just sucked as in you never felt like 100% yourself because your equilibrium was way off. Like,
that's so weird.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. Also, one of the days, the port I was looking forward to the most, beach-wise.
Which one?
Megan's Bay in St. Thomas. Yeah, Megan's Bay, top 10 beach in the world. Super calm cove, crystal blue water. I mean, you don't get much better. And it was choppy, and the water was clear, but not, because the sand, the sift was kicking up.
Yeah.
And then the current was actually rough. There was actually waves rolling in. And then it did rain while we were there. The excursion...
At that port? At Megan's Bay?
Megan's Bay, yeah. There was an accident on the island, because on the island there's one road. It's kind of like Hawaii. There's like one road that goes, and there was a huge accident. So the excursion was backed up, and they just cut into your excursion time. And so that was just a bummer. Overall, I mean, it was still beautiful, and it was cool to go to the island. But yeah, that was kind of a downer. So like weather-wise, and then like stuff out of your control, but you have to realize it's a cruise, so you can't control the ocean, can't control the weather.
Yeah.
But when you have such high hopes, I mean, you tend to get let down. Regardless, I mean, it's hard to get much better than a cruise. There's everything to do, and just the vibe of a cruise, depending on the ship. We go Royal Caribbean, but there actually are some ships I want to try. I know.
How dare you? Did you not learn from Dad?
Dude, the new Virgin Voyages, it's adults only. The only adults only cruise line.
Who cares?
And I actually watched their newest ship, the Scarlet Lady. It's more of like a
Scarlet Lady.
Yeah, look, it's Virgin. It's going to be a little more on like the scandalous side, to be honest with you. But like, it was a modern looking ship. The rooms by far outdid Royal Caribbean's rooms. Just a standard room. Super modern, super nice.
Interesting.
The food on Virgin, I've heard, kills every other cruise line out of the water. Yeah. So,
well, I think I've never heard such blasphemy coming out of your mouth.
So, I mean, it would have been my number one, and really the best part about the cruise is going to different places.
Yeah.
Like, you have to have a passport, but going to different places. Yeah, going to different ports in one vacation.
Yeah.
Just whether it's Western Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, any part of the world that cruises go to. And that's hard to find with any other vacation. I mean, you can do it, but it's a lot more like planning. Rather than a cruise, you're on one boat. They take you. Yeah, I mean, you just can't
beat it.
Hard to beat.
Yeah. I'm actually not going to disagree with you, because my number 2 is a cruise.
Yeah.
which I didn't think I was going to go there, but I'm going there because number 2 being the cruise. I've been on 2 cruises. I have gone once with our family, like no spouse, and then I went once with my spouse. The time that I was with the family, I kept thinking to myself, because at the time I was dating Ashlyn, about to get engaged. But I was dating Ashlyn, and I'm like, the whole time I was there, I kept thinking to myself, like, dang, this would be so much better if I was here with Ash, you know? And then we got married, and about a year into being married, not even 6 months into being married, we went on a cruise, which was wrong time. We went in October on a cruise, but we went to 3 ports. 2 ports were beautiful. Only one time we got rained, and when I say we got rained out, we got rained out. Like, I have a video. Maybe I'll throw it up here. Literally freaking water to my ankles. The island, bro, was flooding. Like, it was like water rolling into the shops, like, and everyone was just acting normal except for Grand Cayman, which was such a bummer. Me and Ash were actually we got into a little bit of a fight at Grand Cayman. We had about an hour and a half of sunshine before the clouds started rolling in, and we got in a fight because I wanted to rent a little scooter to ride around the island. And she was like, no, I don't want to do that because they drive weird here. And I was like, who cares? And she's like, we get in there, and they wanted a $500 deposit on the credit card that would go, it was like a hold, right? That would go right back as long as you didn't crash the thing. She was like, well, what if we crash it? And I'm like, what if we don't? And she's like, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, I want to do it. She's like, I don't want to do it. And then we didn't do it. And I was just throwing a fit. Like, I was pouting.
Yeah.
So we walked from that moped shop like a half a mile back to the mainland, got some lunch, and then it started downpouring. Yeah. Then it started to, look, I'm just keeping it real. And then it started downpouring, and we very quickly realized we botched the small amount of time that we had. But as soon as it started raining, it actually got kind of fun because we were just running around, and it was so crazy that I forgot that I was mad at her for not letting me rent the moped. Probably a good idea anyway, because Shirley would have crashed that thing because it was straight up a tropical storm like I'd never seen. So yeah, that was a good time. But other than that, the 2 ports, the other ones, we went to Jamaica, and then I think it was Cozumel. We did some like ATV thing in Cozumel, which was like crazy fun. And we had like such a good time. But like the entire time that we were there, we kept thinking like this would be so much more fun with couples, you know? And so I feel like with cruising, it can't be number 1 because I feel like it would be so hard to go on a cruise and be like content with who you're there with, because I feel like it would always, the grass is always greener. I don't know. I just feel like,
yeah, I mean, I think cruising, it depends on the mood you're in. Like,
yeah,
we were on the mood to go, Olivia and I.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it definitely would be fun to go with a group of friends.
Yeah.
Definitely would be.
Yeah. Or even just with family and your spouse.
Yeah. I think it tailors to everything, but...
Yeah. But I feel like even if you planned it out with your friends, maybe even just with a couple, like a few couples, I feel like the entire time you'd be there, you'd be like, this is so fun, but I wish it was just me and my wife. Yeah. But if it was just you and your wife, I feel like the entire time I'd be like, man, I wish we would have invited some couples. You know what I mean? Regardless, cruising is a good time. Like I said before, the thing about cruising that I love is that it forces me to relax when there is time to relax, like on the boat.
A sea day?
Yeah, sea day, arguably better. It's better than the port day for me because it literally forces me to just relax, dude.
Just send me overboard.
No.
On the sea day, dude, I walk to the back of the ship and I look into the abyss, and I just tell Olivia, I'm like, I just want to go float out there. I just want to float in the abyss. Dude.
Why? What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like, and so does Olivia. Just the
both
open.
Just float
if
away?
you've ever looked into an open ocean, and I'm talking like just the deep, richest blue you've ever seen.
So what makes you want to float
Caribbean
out there?
Ocean. Just to feel tiny. Yeah. Just to feel like, dang. Like I'm floating.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you're in space.
So you want to go to space?
No, I really don't want to go to space.
You might benefit from a float spa.
No.
Because you feel very similar.
No. Don't put me in an egg full of water. No.
No, stop it. It's not just water. And
Dude,
it's not just an egg.
Open. It's
No, I get it. And then you get eaten by a shark.
No,
right?
dude, come
Congrats.
on. Dude,
go to a float
the
spa.
open ocean. You think a little speck on the open ocean, all of a sudden there's a freaking great white 20 feet from you?
So you get to the open ocean, you're laying there all by your lonesome. You're a dot on the earth. What happens next?
Dude,
what are you feeling? I feel terrified if that happened.
Most
I would
people
get scared.
Most people would, but I feel like that's zen.
Zen. You would. You'd love a float spa. You would love it. True rest in Chandler. You could benefit from true rest. It's a good time. If you want zen, you want to feel like you're lost in the middle of the ocean, close your eyes and float on the water as if you're lost in the center of the ocean.
Oh.
That's the weirdest thing I ever heard in my life.
I'm not.
No, that's weird.
I know
there's
just nothing around me.
But what would that...
I feel like it's epic.
Escaping to what? What are you escaping to?
I'm not escaping to anything.
Yeah, you are.
I just feel like it's epic. Just to feel that. To feel the rawness of like... God created this piece of ocean. And it's one ocean on this planet.
Yeah.
The Caribbean Ocean is one ocean.
Okay.
And you're a little speck in it. And it's not even the biggest ocean. Yet it feels ginormous. And you just feel as if you just feel like a tiny little ant. And you're just like, dang.
So how long would your ideal time to float there and feel that moment of dang? How long before you're like, okay, I want to get back on the boat?
3 minutes is fine.
Dude, you're freaking weird. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard in my life. I tried to understand and like pull something out of that. I can't even relate. That's the weirdest thing I ever heard.
It's not, dude. Just
look,
like...
I can appreciate the feeling of like God's creation, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I feel that when I go snowboarding. I'll sit at the top of the mountain for a second. I'll just stop.
Yeah.
And I'll just like sit there and look out, right?
I guess what I'm getting at is that you have to get on a cruise and you have to go to the edge of the boat and you have to look at the open ocean as you're cruising and just being like, what in the world?
Well, if you've ever done that, go ahead and sound off. Let me know if I'm the crazy one or if Christian's the crazy one, because I
want to dive too. I want goggles on, and I just want to different. I just want to stare into the abyss.
Oh, see why?
Just like,
why don't you go down there? Just dive.
I'm gonna dive. I'm gonna free dive in the middle of the ocean.
So why'd you phrase it?
And then I just want to look at the surface.
Okay. What?
And just blow those ring bubbles and just like, dude.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
That's weird. I don't know. The diving, that's fun. Not for that reason. Not to blow some ring bubbles. Just do that in the pool.
But I need video of it too. Like I need sick underwater footage of it.
FOMO. That's FOMO right there.
I mean, I don't.
That's like the if you didn't film it, it didn't happen culture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
It's like, did you get in the ice bath if you didn't post about it on your story?
Both. I want zen and peace without it, and then I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was weird. Anyway, yeah, cruising's a good time. Not for that reason. I've never thought about that.
It's not like strange. It's like when you're on a lake. This is an awful tangent, but when you're on a lake and you're just cruising and you just want to jump off the boat and just smack the water, just for the.
Dude, that's freaking weird.
Ah, dude,
why?
Just get me out there. Get me off the boat. Just let me jump in the water.
It seems like you want to be removed from people.
Dude,
that's just weird. Okay. I like cruising is my number. I'm gonna end it right here. Cruising is my number 2 because it's
like a floating resort.
It's a floating resort. It forces you to just turn off for a little bit on the cruising days, which I very much appreciate. I know there are people out there that relate with that. Not with you. Not with the floating thing. That's weird. There are people that relate with like being able to like turn off and just like relax for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not even to say that I can't do it. It's really hard for me to get there. The cruising just forces it. There's something in my mind that just like not even hard for me to get there. It just happens. So, but yeah, cruising, that's my number 2.
All right, so number 1.
Numero uno.
And cruising helped me realize this, to be honest with you, because I was gung-ho about cruising.
I'm very interested to hear what you're about to say.
Airbnb/family vacations. So, and this is probably going to turn even better because we haven't even brought Margot on a vacation yet. She's 9 months old.
Yeah. Is she actually 9 months right now?
She's 9 months. Almost 9 months old. I feel like... So, two of my favorite vacations, or that have become... one was the camping in California. Just the overall vibe. Even though it was camping, like, yeah, we still had showers, but it was kind of like...
food, the family.
So, it was like... You get up there, you set up camp, right? Yeah. And it's kind of gross going to the showers, but at least you have showers.
Really gross. Remember when you didn't bring your freaking sandals?
I never do.
You're disgusting. How can you say that? How can you say that the showers are disgusting and then you walk in there barefoot?
I don't know, dude.
You're disgusting.
Who has showering sandals? That's weird.
Everyone. When they go to a place like that. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's nasty.
I just feel like just pretend like I'm wearing sandals.
Or just wear sandals. Buy some. Yeah, $5.
You're probably right. But then you walk back and you're flopping dirt everywhere because they're wet. It's just the overall vibe. Okay, not so much even like the campsite, because we didn't even spend that much time at the campsite. But waking up straight to the beach all day long.
All day.
Cornhole at the beach, spike ball at the beach, swimming, body surfing, lunch, chilling, hanging out.
The sandwiches in the cooler. There's something about that.
I really don't care for it.
What?
It's kind of gross. I'm not a cold sandwich kind of guy.
I am, dude. I live for that.
But just the overall vibe. And then going back, showering. After being on the beach all day, there's nothing better than getting all the sand off, showering, and then straight out into the town. And this is San Clemente, California, by the way, which is a beautiful beach town in California.
Yeah.
And then just going and getting just bomb food, whether it's burgers, pizza, Mexican food.
Yeah.
And then just hanging out.
Yeah.
Right? And then doing it all over again the next day.
Yeah.
So
just on repeat.
That, and then the other next favorite vacation that's become favorite is going to Washington with Olivia. In Washington, if you've never been to the Pacific Northwest, you're just missing out. Yeah. You're missing out. Especially Washington.
I'd actually like to visit Washington. It looks beautiful.
Yeah. And mainly because we go and stay at my father-in-law's house. And he lives basically in a small town, kind of on the edge, and hidden up in the pine trees. Yeah. Nice, modern. It's a modern, like, cabin-style home in a way. I don't think
it looks like a cabin. I think it just has cabin vibes because it looks like it's tucked away in the trees.
Sure, and it is. Nice front yard, beautiful front porch, beautiful back porch, huge back. Like, just green grass. Yeah. Right? Nighttime rolls around.
It's got a deck on it. You send me the videos when you're there, and it looks fun. It looks like a space that you would entertain.
Yeah, and I mean, we get there, he has his friends over. So a lot of times we'll, if there's like a UFC fight on, he usually smokes pork butt, brisket. Yeah. Whatever. We hang out with his friends, me and the wife hanging out, like
good food, good vibes.
Fire outside up on the porch. I mean, great weather. Yeah. It does rain a lot, but like usually it's good weather. Yeah. And then the last time we went, and he always has like the best activities. Yeah. Like, really. I mean,
activities.
He's the best.
He's the best.
Good activities. Like, we went on this railroad that was converted to like a bike that you sit down and you throughout like the trees. We've done that. He has a pontoon boat, so we'll take the pontoon out in Washington lakes, destroy Arizona lakes.
Well, yeah, I feel like any lake would destroy Arizona lake.
Yeah, but like tucked away in the pine trees, and it's warm water in the summertime, and it's clear water. I mean, it's just, I don't know. And then just the overall vibes. Washington has great food. Obviously, if Seattle, he's an hour from Seattle. I mean, I went to Seattle. I've been on the Space Needle. Cool. I went to the Pike Marketplace. Yeah. Super cool. Just being next to the ocean, I've been on a ferry. Yeah. I mean, so that along with California, and then just in general, Airbnbs. Yeah. I think has really changed the game to you get to do what you want. and when you want. Rather than being a resort, you're at a resort and like, okay, let's go do this, let's go do this. Rather than being an Airbnb, it's like you just get to. I guess it's like, kind of like your own resort, but like we went to.
You might be surprised to know this, but there are these things called hotels that allow you to do the same thing as an Airbnb.
Yeah, but the Airbnb is.
Ever heard of that?
Yeah, but the Airbnb is like you can get it like resort style, rather than a hotel is just a hotel.
What do you mean?
Like, so when my father-in-law had his 50th birthday, okay, he loves Cabo.
Yeah.
And we went down to Cabo, up on the hills that overlooks the arches.
Yeah.
And it was a big home.
Yeah.
Extremely nice backyard. Probably like a $75,000 backyard. Barbecue, freaking nice outdoor sectionals.
Yeah.
Built-in multi-deck pool with a pool and a hot tub in it.
Yeah.
And then insane views of Cabo.
Yeah.
Downtown Cabo, the arches. I mean, that's more like resort style, right? And then doors that opened up.
Yeah.
Spacious rooms, like. So like that being there, we got to hang out at the house.
Yeah.
Enjoy that, and then go out into downtown Cabo, eat amazing food, go do what we wanted.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, between like California and between going to Washington and then going to Airbnb, and this can be an Airbnb anywhere. Like, I want to go to like the Southwest, like Texas. I want to go to Tennessee. I want to go to, Wyoming. Like, we've talked about Airbnbs in Wyoming, like in the middle of nowhere, just massive mansion,
Montana.
Just massive mansion cabins with the entire family. Freaking. Paintballing, ATVing, fishing, like just doing whatever you want. I feel like Airbnb, right, or VRBO is just a lot more
possibilities.
Yeah, and at probably cheaper rate than.
It depends. Airbnb they can be expensive. The bigger the home, obviously, the more expensive, but definitely worth it. Yeah. I agree with you there. My number one is also, it's hard because it's like. Family vacations in general are fun, but there have been a few family vacations that I've done with my immediate family, so like my wife, my kids, right? Yeah. Two come to mind, and both of them were actually for work. So I went there to film weddings. One was in the very small town of Sholo, Arizona, which was like. It was over the 4th of July, just this random little last minute.
Beautiful mountain range.
Like, let's just go up there. Let's spend time together as a family. Like, I had one commitment to be there 4th of July morning at sunrise, right? I was there for 2 hours. I was literally home at 7:30 a.m., right? And so for me, it was barely any working time, but we spent like 2-3 days there, right? We spent a lot of time in the hotel pool. Yeah. We spent a lot of time out at different restaurants and stuff like that. Yeah. But Carter, dude, he will talk about Sholo as if we just went there, even though that was literally almost a year ago now. Mm-hmm. He loved it, loved it so much. And that was just kind of like this fun last minute, like, let's just go do this kind of thing. Yeah. That dude, it opened my eyes to vacations can be really fun, but it doesn't have to be anything special. You know what I mean? And that was honestly, outside of the hotel pool, the only thing we did was go to different restaurants. You know what I mean? That was just it.
Usually last minute stuff like that that's unexpected. There's no expectations on it. Yeah. Just like the cruise, we'd been sitting around for 3 months on that. Yeah. And more so me, my wife would just tell me to shut that up because I wouldn't stop talking about the cruise. Yeah. And the expectations were probably my end too high. For sure.
But I mean, it's hard to not.
But I hear that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Second vacation that comes to mind with my family, my immediate family, is Hawaii. So we went to Hawaii. Yeah. Also to film a wedding. I had 1 day of commitment there, but we spent a week there. And we stayed up at Turtle Bay in some condos there. There's a few condos at Turtle Bay listed on Airbnb. And we went and we stayed there for a week. And honestly, dude, it was so fun and so miserable at the same time. First reason was because we had Beckham with us. He was really young, and Hawaii's pretty windy. And so babies, and you blow on their face and they're, they can't breathe or whatever. Yeah. He was living his life like that for basically an entire week. The kid was barely breathing. You know what I mean? So that was kind of hard. He couldn't spend too much time at the beach. But Carter, dude, he came to life at that beach, dude. Like, he loves Hawaii, talked about it all the time. And the same reason that we liked Sholo, we spent a lot of time together as a family. We spent a lot of time new places, eating at new places, you know what I mean? Like, the general vibe, like, we got to walk around the temple up there. We went to, like, you know, we went and got ice cream all the time, snow cones, like, all the things, dude. Like, so fun. But, yeah, I'd say family vacations for me. Like, my immediate family. I love family vacation in general, but my immediate family, like, we're trying to do a lot more of those, trying to fit those in because, honestly, time spent with the kids, it's honestly, like, it's hard to beat.
And that's what I can't wait for because Margot's 9 months old and we're getting ready to, like, you know, we just talked about taking her to Washington, like, and but that's not going to be this year. But next year, probably summertime, we're going to take her to Washington for the first time.
Yeah. So fun.
February for my father-in-law's birthday.
Are you going to Cabo?
We're going to take her to Cabo.
Oh.
Yeah. So
dangerous.
Look, dude, you're looking for trouble, you'll find trouble.
I guess.
A lot of
sometimes that trouble finds you.
Places everywhere. So
that's true. All right, well, that kind of wraps up the conversation about our top 3 vacations. Let us know your top vacations. Christian and I have what you would call a travel bug. We're constantly talking about where we want to go, what we want to do, and things like that. So let us know your favorite vacation.
I mean, yeah, just let us know your favorite vacation, what type of vacation, where you'd like to travel. It doesn't really matter. On your bucket list, just shoot us, the questions next week.
We'll put a link in the Instagram bio that you can ask anonymous questions or you can send us an email.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into the segment we like to call Smoked. Brought to you by Pit Boss. We are a very proud sponsor of Pit Boss.
Yep. Well, Pit Boss is a sponsor of ours.
Yeah, I'm dyslexic, boy. Sorry.
Thank you, Pit Boss, for sponsoring us. We don't know why you did that, but thank you for trusting us. To learn more, before we get into the segment, if you want to learn more about Pit Boss, make sure to check out pitboss-grills.com to learn more. But this week we're talking smokers, smoking in general.
Here we are.
Actually, I have a question really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. This is legitimately one of the questions that we were asked.
Oh.
What's your favorite thing you've smoked?
Well, this is going to be hard for Cameron to answer because he's new into the smoking.
Hey, I have a favorite thing I've smoked. I've only smoked 2 things, but I have a favorite.
Yeah. Me, definitely, I haven't even touched a brisket yet. Quite honestly, I don't want to spend the money on a brisket because they're expensive. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
But I have once been told by someone who smoked a lot more meat, master a pork butt before you move to a brisket. Because a brisket, for those that don't know, is a very expensive piece of meat.
Sure.
You have to do a lot of trimming on it initially.
Yeah.
And then it's a long cook. It's a very long cook. I think it's like 14 to 16 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a long one.
It's the best cut of meat out there, but master a pork butt first before you move straight into a brisket.
Have you mastered a pork butt?
I'm getting very, very close. At least on my smoker.
Sure.
So I've had my smoker for 2 years.
I will say it had the meat that we had a couple weeks back, super good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, I think you have to master like your grill before you can master any cut of meat. Sure. Because every grill's different, and you have to understand your grill. And until you cook like a pork butt 10 times over, or a chicken 10 times over, or even more than that, I feel like it takes time to like really fully understand your grill.
And just understanding the meat in general.
Just understanding the meat in general, understanding just to get your mind to stop thinking.
Yeah.
Because at that point, like, then getting out there and smoking becomes fun. Yeah. And for you,
it was not fun, actually. You know what? I'll say it again.
Yeah, in all honesty.
It was fun. There were stressful moments, and at the end of the day, I was pretty unsatisfied with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you don't know until you know it. Yeah. You know? So like, to put everybody in context, I got the Navigator, threw a full chicken on there, and 2 things went wrong. First thing, okay, don't buy chicken from Walmart. It's disgusting.
Oh. It's
antibiotic fed. That's probably the only thing it was fed its entire life. You're not supposed to see a lot of fat on chicken, but I saw a lot of fat on that chicken. And or clumps of freaking straight medicine on that thing. Disgusting. Smelled weird. It was a gross It was a gross chicken. So that was the first problem.
Yeah.
Second problem, I don't know anything about smoking, and I rushed so fast into it because like the idea of smoking is so fun. And look, there were parts of that thing that actually were pretty good. Meat Church seasoning made that pretty dang easy. But it was just overall, it was more stressful than not. And then at the end, I was unsatisfied because I feel like it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I did redeem myself. I cooked a bunch of chicken breasts, 6 chicken breasts, like individual pieces.
Yeah.
Costco, good chicken, organic chicken.
Yeah.
Cooked those up, and I did still screw those ones up too. I got them a little bit more like tough because I smoked it too long. So, and you don't know what you don't know until you know it.
Yeah, it takes
time. I don't know anything about the different. Like I didn't know there was a way to cook chicken and a way to cook pork, and how the smoke will affect the meat. And how chicken's more sensitive than pork. Like, who thinks about that? Not anybody unless you're smoking things.
Yeah, I mean, we're also talking about wood pellet grills.
Yeah.
Which are the easiest way to smoke anything. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Pit Boss does a very good job at making that pretty easy for you.
Yeah.
Between all their different styles of grills, right? Yeah. Some of them are you got the Pro Series. Yeah. You have the lower end grills. Like I have a lower end grill, and there's nothing wrong with it. I learned to smoke on it.
Yeah.
I don't have the Wi-Fi.
Hey, you can smoke better than I can, and I have a more expensive grill than you do.
I think there are very limited companies out there that make some wood pellet grills, and Pit Boss is definitely atop the list.
Yeah.
So
Pit Boss is great.
From budget to premium to everything in between. I mean. Yeah. The options are pretty much endless.
Yep. I feel like everybody has a different need for a pellet grill, depending on what you're smoking, who you're smoking for. You might have a different need than somebody else. Yep. And so we obviously talk a lot about wood pellet grills. We talk a lot about smoking. I will talk a lot more about it because I'm like excited to get into this because I feel like it's been a long time coming. I've been watching you smoke for a long time. So I'm excited to learn more about it. But if you are sick of hearing me and Christian talk about smoking and you want to get out there and try it yourself, make sure you check out pitboss-grills.com. Like I said, everybody's a little bit different from what you're smoking to who you're smoking things for, and what you are hoping to accomplish with a wood pellet grill. At pitboss-grills.com, you will find a wide variety of smokers. Kind of thumb through that, browse, see which Pit Boss grill would be right for you. Yep. On Pit Boss's YouTube channel, also, you can check out all of the different grills. If you have questions about certain things, a lot of them actually have links to the YouTube videos themselves. So make sure you're on their site. Make sure you check out the huge variety from budget to premium. Like Christian said, there is a grill for everybody. So if you'd like to learn more, make sure you check out pitboss-grills.com. Again, that is pitboss-grills.com. And again, full disclosure, we are sponsored by Pit Boss, but we own the Pit Boss. We're excited to have them as our sponsors, and we actually think they're amazing grills. So get out there and check them out, pitboss-grills.com. Again, that's pitboss-grills.com to learn more. I'm going to say this really fast. You know how many downloads we have up until this point?
I have no clue.
I'm excited about this.
Tell me.
90. 90, dude.
Yeah.
We've released 2 episodes.
Yeah.
This is 3.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool, considering that we don't even have that many followers on Instagram. So thank you for everybody who has listened to the podcast. We appreciate you. For the 6 people listening in Atlanta, thank you. What's up? Yeah. Send us your name, and maybe we'll shout you out and why you're listening to us and how you found us.
Dude, what if Casey Neistat's listening in New York?
He ain't listening in New York, dude. Casey Neistat is not listening. To the 5 people in New York listening, what's up? Thank you. We appreciate everybody. And then, like I said, if you have questions, if you want to hear us talk about certain things, you can hit the link in our bio on Instagram at the 480 show, where you can ask us questions, or you can let us, engage in a topic that you want to hear us talk about. So regardless of where you're listening from, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, wherever you consume our voices, we are appreciative of you. Especially,
tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends about us. Follow us over on Instagram at the 480 show, on Twitter at the 480 show, on YouTube at the 480 show, everywhere at the 480 show. Check us out. Share the content if you appreciate what we're talking about. If you want to join the conversation, drop us a comment, leave us a review, or click the link in our bios to send us an email, in which case we will read that and we'll answer questions, discuss your topics. We want you to join the conversation. So again, thank you for listening. If you wouldn't mind, leave us a quick review at the bottom of the show. We appreciate it so much. It does help us out more than you know. But until next week, we out.
Deuces.